Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Living Life. Today I am going to share a recipe for beef jerky marinade. My husband and I are going to do a batch of beef jerky this weekend. So I am going to get the marinade mixed up, and then I've got my meat is actually in the freezer. I like to put it in the freezer for about 20-30 minutes before I cut it up. That way it is a little easier to cut the slices. So we're going to get started on the marinade for right now. And let me show you what I have here. For my liquid ingredients, I'm using Worcestershire sauce. Then we've got soy sauce. I use the regular soy sauce. You can use the low sodium if you choose, but I like to use the regular soy sauce. So we've got that. Then for our dry ingredients, I've got brown sugar. I've got garlic powder. I've got coarse, oops, let me drop it. I've got coarse black pepper. I've got onion powder. And then we do like a little bit of a spice to ours, so I've got red pepper seeds. You can omit these if you like. So we are going to first get started on mixing up our marinade. So let me get you down here where you can get a better view. And we are going to start off by using a half a cup of our Worcestershire. You know, it seems like everybody has issues pronouncing it. Worcestershire sauce. All right, we're going to start off by using a half a cup. Alrighty. Oh gosh, this stuff smells so good. Then I've got my soy sauce, and we are going to use a full cup of our soy sauce. All right. I guess I could have taken the little spout out that has a little hole in it. I probably could have poured it a little faster. Okay. Be patient. All right, so we are using a full cup of the soy sauce. All right, so I'm going to add that. Okay, then I've got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Let me get that. Then we are using a full tablespoon of the garlic powder. And this is going to be a marinade that is going to be enough for 4 pounds of meat, because that's about what I have, very close to 4 pounds. Okay, then I've got a tablespoon of onion powder. All right, then I've got coarse black pepper. Now I'm going to put a full tablespoon of the coarse black pepper in. You can back it off a little bit if you don't like it peppery, but we do. So I have got the full tablespoon. All right. Then I'm going to put a teaspoon of our red pepper flakes. And again, you can omit the red pepper flakes if you like, but we like it just a little spicy. And those are our simple ingredients. We're just going to mix this up real good. All right, now like I said, I have got my meat in the freezer, and it is just, I like to leave it in there for about 20-30 minutes just so that it's easy to slice. And then I'm gonna go grab that out of the freezer, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now when I went to the store, actually I went to 2 different stores this morning when we decided that we were going to do this weekend, and I could only find one eye of round steak, beef eye of round roast. It's not a steak, it's a roast. And then I also found one beef round roast. So I bought one of each. We like to use the eye of round because that is the leanest. But another good choice is the beef round. So I'm going to get these cut up. The one important thing when you're making beef jerky is making sure that you have the leanest cut of meat. Fat is not your friend when you're doing beef jerky. When you're drying it, the fat can become very rancid. So you definitely want to make sure that you trim all of the fat and use a really lean meat cut. So we are going to start off by trimming all of the fat cap that you see on this meat, and we're going to get that all cut out first. So let me get a scrap bowl here. Right. So I just want to make sure that I get all of the fat trimmed off. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I am going to start with that one, and then let's get the fat cut off of this roast. My husband usually does this part, and he is busy cutting wood today, so I told him I would do this. The leaner the cut of meat is, the best. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, now I am going to, I know they say the best, I believe, is against the grain. So rather than to cut these pieces long, I'm actually going to cut them so they're going to turn out sort of like a round piece. So, and you want to you don't want them too thick. So you want it about like this. So give me just a second. I'm gonna put my glasses on. We don't have to have any accidents here with me chopping my fingers off on camera. I just feel like I could probably do a little better with them on. So there we go. I want to say that's maybe 1/4 of an inch thick, and that's what you want. Right, and we're going to get this chopped up, and then I will be right back to show you what we're going to do next. All right, friends, so I have got all of our meat cut up, And now I'm going to grab a Ziploc bag. I'm just going to put all of the meat in the Ziploc bag. I'm going to put the marinade in the bag, and we're just going to kind of mush it around, mix it around, just to make sure that all of the meat is covered. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the refrigerator, and we're going to let it set in the refrigerator overnight, just so all of the marinade is absorbed really well in the meat. You want to put it in at least 8 to 12 hours before you put it in the dehydrator. So we're going to get that mixed up now, and then we'll get it put in the fridge. And if you don't have enough room, if you're using more than the meat that I have here, I've got about 4 pounds. If you are using more than 4 pounds of meat, you can put it in a bowl, let it sit in a glass bowl with the marinade covered overnight, or you could divide it up into several bags. It is whatever you choose, as long as the meat is all soaking in the marinade. Give this one last mix here before we pour it in our bag. All right. Oh, that smells yummy. Right. Now before I seal it, I'm just gonna kind of mush it around a little bit just to make sure that none of the meat, because if the meat is all stuck together, it's not going to get fully absorbed in the meat. So we just need to make sure we get it mixed around real good. All right, let's get the bag sealed up. And while it's in the fridge, you know, if you want, like every couple hours, if you want to get it out and just kind of mush it around a little bit, just like you would if you were marinating a steak to cook on the grill. Just want to give it some good mushing. Alrighty. There we go, folks. So we're gonna let this marinade, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Okay, friends, we are back. It is the next day, and I am going to first take all of our seasoned beef out of the Ziploc bag that I put it in, and I'm going to lay some of the slices out on my pan here, and I'm just gonna pat them dry a little bit with a paper towel just to get some of the excess liquid and marinade off of the beef. It just helps with the drying process. So we're gonna get started with that. I've brought in all of the grates from the smoker, and I'm just gonna lightly spray them with a little bit of pan, and then I'm going to lay them flat out on the rack. So I'm not exactly sure. We've never done the smoker beef jerky, so I'm not exactly sure how many racks it's gonna take, but I don't want to crowd it, but yet I'm gonna try and use as few. I'd like to only use 3 if possible. So let's get started. Gonna open this up. You know what? I do need to grab a roll of paper towel. So I don't have enough on that roll, so I'm gonna grab a roll of paper towel real quick. All right, there we go. All right, let's get started. Oh, it sure does smell good. Ooh. Just kind of lay this out. And I don't know if there is a right or a wrong way of doing this. Like I said, this is the first time that we have actually done beef jerky on the smoker. So we are just going by what we have seen on other recipes or heard about. So just gonna do our best here. All right, we'll get this first batch done here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna take a little bit of paper towel and we are just gonna lightly pat the excess. See, we're getting a lot of the excess marinade off of this beef, and that's what we don't want. It saves on the drying time, and it also helps prevent from dripping down onto the meat below. Let me get the pan, and we're gonna just spray. I've got some old towels that I've laid down here, mainly because I didn't want the grates getting down on the countertop. Let's get you a little closer, and then we are just gonna start laying this out. And then I've already got the smoker going outside. So I put it at 170 is what you want to smoke these at. And it's going to take about 6 or 7 hours for the complete drying process. Wipe a little bit of this off. Get a couple more pieces here. I guess you can see why when you buy beef jerky, it's a little expensive. It takes a little bit of time and effort, just like anything else that's good, right? Right. Put that little piece right there. I think we can fit one more. I'm just trying not to crowd it too much. Yes, I think that'll be good right there. All right. There we go. All right, so we've got the first rack done. All right, well, I will be right back when I have all of the rest of this laid out on the racks. Then we'll take it outside, we'll put it in the smoker, and get this batch going. Alrighty, friends, so I have 3 full grates full of the beef. So come on out and let's get it put on. All right. Now I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I had the heat cranked up a little bit higher just to bring it up to temperature. So I'm going to turn it down to the 170. All right. Stay open there. All right, rack number 1 going in. And this is actually not my expertise. My husband is usually the one that gets this smoker going here. So, and I sure hope that sun is not blocking the view here. It's pretty bright this morning, which is a good thing. All right. Then we've got one more rack here. All right, folks. So let me get you a little closer. And I have got 1, 2, 3 racks going on in here. So I'm gonna get this thing shut up. And then we will check back in a couple hours and see what we got going on. And like I said, it will be a drying time, or a smoking time, should I say, smoke/drying time of anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. We've never done it in the Pit Boss, but I have done some research, looked at a few different videos myself and recipes, and so we're gonna give her a try. So we'll check back in a little bit. So this is what the hubby does when I'm slaving away on the Pit Boss. We need the wood. Okay guys, it has been 6 hours. I just ran out, checked my jerky, and I believe it's done. So we are gonna run out, grab it, bring it on in, and I'm gonna show you and take a little sample, and we'll see how it tastes. All right. Check this out, guys. Looky there. Doesn't that look awesome? And then here is the pineapple that I decided to do. Put on, it's been about 2 hours ago. Put the pineapple on with a little bit of hot spicy honey, a little bit of brown sugar, and voila, we've got dessert too. So now I'm going to give this a little sample. Like I said, we've made beef jerky before, but we've never done it on the Pit Boss, on the smoker. So I'm going to give it a try, and yeah, let's check it out. Let's try this. Oh yeah. Oh wow. It is perfect combination. Little bit of sweet, little bit of spicy, but not too much of each. Just perfect. The smoker did an excellent job. Now let's try this pineapple. That I'm really looking forward to. Oh, wow. This recipe's a keeper. It's good, guys. I recommend, if you've got a smoker, try it. You won't be disappointed. And remember, guys, if you could share my video, give me a little thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. So if you've liked this recipe and want to try it out, I will put it in the description below, along with how we did it in the smoker. And give it a try, guys. I think you'll really enjoy it. Have a great rest of your day. See you on the next one, guys.